Take it away.
Hey there. Hey now. Welcome to Hey Now, it's Hank Kingsley.
Hank
Um,
Skinsley? That's the porno version of Larry Sanders Show.
yeah. This is John Wilder saying hey. The show gets starting in about 2 minutes. So when it hits, this is kind of the pregame where we get everything ready, and so welcome. And I'm trying to get YouTube up right now. We'll see. Oh, you got all the stuff that I sent you, the missus?
I did, and I added a couple things to it, so.
Good. Okay. Well, run your things because mine go with stories. So that's kind of a heads up there.
Well, I have no idea what order you want those to go in, and you have no idea what order I put them in, so this will be kind of difficult.
It it's exciting that way.
No, you just assume that I will read your mind and be able to tell which thing goes with, and I don't know just by looking because I only number them when I put them in the
Oh,
queue.
that's even going to be more exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to it.
Oh, you're not making my week any better.
Oh, well, I will number them in the future or give you a cue name for them. Hey, Mark.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Good.
Quizzer's here. Oh, and it's go time. It's
Is
movie
it?
sign. Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bonds and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 142nd live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark
Hey, everyone.
and the missus.
Well, we're boned.
Yes, yes, it does.
it certainly does appear that way, doesn't it?
Well, so how was your week, Mark? And I need at least 6 syllables.
Wow, that's almost like a haiku length. Um, you know, it had its ups and downs. I'll put it that way.
A lot of roller coaster
Including
riding in Mark's weekend.
including a trip to the ER, but not me.
Oh my! So everybody okay?
Um, they never could figure out what was wrong. So I don't know.
Well, there you have it. Wow, that's a little exciting. That's more exciting than I like for a weekend. Um, hmm.
Though,
Well,
as someone who has been in this situation before, it is a little bit weird when you're in the ER and the doctor says, hang on a second, sticks his head out the door and goes, hey guys, you all got to come in here and see this.
once in
You're
a
not going to
lifetime.
believe this. Yeah.
It was more like they did a bunch of tests, did one or two CAT scans, and we're just like, everything looks good. We don't know what happened.
So there were cats. Is this a Haitian doctor?
No, we weren't in the cafeteria. We were in the ER.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'm supposed to remember to tell everybody say uh like and subscribe. So like and subscribe. I mean, because it's awesome. Uh, did you have any?
Quizzer says it's even worse if it's your gynecologist. Nice one, Quizzer.
Oh, oh my, we're going early tonight. Do you have the missus? Did you have any comments on your weekend?
Uh, I didn't really do anything this weekend. I mean, like nothing at all.
Isn't that the perfect weekend?
Well, kinda.
Uh-oh. Kinda. Well, I did absolutely nothing this weekend except, and that was all right. That was okay. I had a boy home from college, and that was interesting.
Yeah, but but like he was never here.
Well, actually, he was up not with me on Friday night when he showed up, but that's another story. But I do have a big announcement.
Well, we're waiting.
Good. That's actually very good.
Thank you.
Biden has selected his VP. It's Jean Paul, and it's a cook from Haiti. So that's all we know. All we know. So
John
Do you
Paul or
hear
RuPaul?
do you hear something that sounds like an alarm going off faintly in the distance? It was there just for a second. John, I know that you don't because you're completely deaf, but it sounded like it was upstairs.
I didn't hear anything.
It sounded like an EAS.
Hmm. Well, I hope not. Didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't
And
have my cell phone with me, so I didn't.
and
run
I assume that's
downstairs.
not a bit.
No, that was not a bit.
Okay, yeah.
I did hear something, and it did sound like the EAS. went
If
off.
the missiles are incoming, what are we going to do?
know,
What are we going to do?
I've had a good run.
All right. Well, let's go into Conversation Street.
And now it's time for us to take down the smooth sidewalks of Conversation Street.
All right. Today's Conversation Street is typically been the candidates for the past few weeks, and we've only got 50 some days of that left. So let's talk about the debate. Trump didn't stare, and Kamala was off the bottle. Though she did start slurring her words about an hour in, so she was off, but she was off the bottle for the night. The pundits are claiming that Kamala won, but the Reuters talked to 10 undecided voters, and the split after watching the debate was 6 for Trump, 3 for Kamala, and 1 no habla inglés. So jump on in, folks. What are your thoughts on the debate?
Well, to be straightforward and honest on this, I watched maybe like 5 minutes, and it wasn't contiguous. I started it, and as soon as I saw that they'd angled the cameras in such a way to make Trump look evil, because they had a slight downward angle towards him,
Hmm.
I knew it was just going to be a total crap of a debate because they just weren't going to be fair. And sure enough, that's how it turned out. And then I went back and I watched a little bit towards the end, and I don't know, nothing excited me. So, I've seen some video of it afterwards. It looks like your standard hit job where they're constantly the moderators were supposedly fact checking Trump, even though they were just repeating lies that have been disproven, and didn't do anything about Kamala's lying, apparently rampant lying through the whole thing. So I think the debates have reached a point where they're just functionally they're useless.
Well, because they aren't really debates, and they aren't really. They're just stump speeches with the people who are acting as moderators. Because let's be honest, they aren't really moderators. They're there to argue with the Republican, and to never ever challenge the Democrat. But even when they ask them questions, it doesn't matter what the question is that is asked. They'll just say whatever they want to say. And Trump does that too. But the moderators tend to be a little more to get him back on track because they want to. Why won't you just admit that you're a racist xenophobe? Right? That sort of thing.
And they really wanted Trump to say he regretted something. They were really focused on getting him to say, "But do you regret? But do you regret?" And Trump, I'm kind of proud of him. He said, "I regret nothing." He didn't say that, but you could tell that was in the back of his head.
Well, okay, so I'm like Mark, except I watched less of it last night. I fell asleep in the run up to the debate, and so I woke up about 20 minutes after it started, turned it on, saw the commentators ask Pamela a question. And again, Pamela just did not answer at all the question that they asked. She just started saying whatever it was, giving her stump speech. And I was just like, well, this is all this is going to be. There's no point in me watching any more of this. And I turned it off and went to sleep, which I think was a wise decision.
Well, actually, they were very deft in their moderating, because what they had to do was Kamala already had the questions. She was just giving answers to different questions.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I'd assume that she already had the questions too, because I have heard some clips of it, not a lot. I didn't listen to a lot of stuff today, but what I did hear, it did seem to me like she knew what the questions were going to be ahead of time, because she had very smooth, well-prepared answers. And let's be honest, if you were looking for adjectives to describe the way Kamala Harris takes questions on the fly, smooth and competent are not words that would pop into your head.
No, they wouldn't. She's not good extemporaneously.
No, she's not.
And the one thing I found especially interesting was the fact that they had thoroughly briefed her in what to do when Trump was talking. They gave her a set number of looks that she was supposed to give, and she gave them kind of in a random order. And so, but at least she could learn a few things. But
it really reminded me of the debate that Biden had with Paul Ryan in 2012, right? That atrocious debate where Biden just sat there and sucked his teeth and snickered and that sort of shit. And I just found him completely and totally abhorrent or repugnant after that debate, and it kind of struck me as that. Again, the 20 seconds that I watched.
You said horribly.
Well, I'm tired.
Mark,
I'm tired and I'm having back problems, so I'm in pain too.
Mark?
What?
Well,
would you care to go to the podcast, Mark?
No, my volume is, there's something weird with it tonight.
Are we too loud or too quiet?
It's too quiet. I'm having a hard time.
The missus. When you talk, it just makes him go to sleep.
That's probably it.
You're so boring.
Yeah. Here. Let me see. This just. I don't know. I can't find it.
So the debate is over. What are your thoughts of the overall impact of this to the overall election? I'll start off. It's certainly not a kill shot on anyone's side. Mark.
Well, like I said, I think the debates have become useless, and I don't think it's going to have much of a change. There may be a few people on the edge that might influence one way or the other, but I think at this point, most people probably have already figured out who they're going to vote for, and they'll probably, the problem that Kamala has is that she's she's been in the Biden administration the whole time, and so a lot of that will probably, their anger at Biden and what's happened to the economy is going to rub off on her, and you sort of saw that at the very end when Trump was giving, sort of wrapping up and just saying that you were in there for, you've had 3.5 years. Why haven't you done anything yet?
No, he took her to town on that one.
Yeah, well, and because now her answer is, well, I was just vice president. There's nothing I could do. Whereas, about 8 weeks ago, her answer on that was, I was right there for every decision. I was the last person in the room.
I was in the situation room.
Which was it? Were you an integral part of the administration and helped with every decision that was made? Or did you have nothing to do with it?
She's Schrodinger's candidate, both.
Right. Well, yeah, and I wanted to pull that sound clip from Bernie Sanders on MSNBC, I want to say. It might have been another network. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But the question was, because she has seemingly done a 180 on all of these positions that she's taking now. And the question was to Sanders, has she abandoned her progressive roots? And Sanders' answer was, well, no, I don't think she has done that at all, because I think the stances she's taking now are merely because she wants to get elected. That's pretty much what he said. So that she's lying.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think people are getting that too. I think people watched the debate last night and just went, she's a phony. I don't believe anything she says. So it's coming down to, do you want the chronic liar, and who knows what the heck she's going to do if elected, or do you want to go with Trump, who a lot of people have problems with because, the man's got a lot of warts, but that's the choice. There's only two. You got to pick one.
Oh, and all right. So, post debate, your call on the winner. And that's hard to say. Well, there's certain things we can't talk about on YouTube about because we know that the vote is 100% real, and then there's no way it
Absolutely
could be
nothing
wrong.
weird will happen.
So making
Well,
that
come on.
assumption,
One would think that, again, let's go back to that lawn mowing contest that we have talked about previously that happened in 2020, where, suddenly the person who was behind with the number of lawns that they had mowed in town, at the very end, suddenly mowed like an inexplicable number right at the very end, just enough to push them over the top, which was weird. And statistically speaking, it was weird. But I think the same people who are invested in the lawn mowing contest have figured it out to maybe do a little better distribution of the number of lawns that they mow throughout the contest, so that it doesn't look like that the fix is in.
no, they're going to do that just to
And just to be clear, YouTube, I'm talking about a
rub our
lawn
nose.
mowing contest.
Yes, they're going to rub our noses in that lawn mowing contest.
Right.
Quizzer notes, Mark's prediction from a few weeks ago that it's going to be a real shit show has proven to be accurate once again. The misses.
It's just going to be a total shit show, I think.
The misses. Wait, that was your prediction? We have Mark's prediction. My prediction, Trump may win the popular vote this time. It's crazy. There, I said it. We'll see. We'll see.
It's hard to say, things are so up in the air, and there are so many things about this that just have never happened and have never been done before. There's nothing to base it on. I mean, it could go either way.
And just like up in the air, I mean, if it were cows up in the air, you could say the stakes are high. All right.
Well, and there's the wild card of there's a substantial number of, how shall I put it, new voters, and the threat of some of these new voters, like say Venezuelans, becoming poll watchers.
Yep.
That they've taken over apartment complexes, but maybe they'll go out and help with the monitoring polls.
All right. Well, we'll come back to politics in a little bit, not a whole lot. Well, okay, a lot. But right now, Mark, it's time for 2 minutes of guns in 1 minute.
Are you ready, Mark?
I think so, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, one of the most important things when you get a gun for self-defense is how you're going to carry it. And I'm not talking about just the position, but, having a good quality holster,
15 seconds.
a good belt, and maybe even more. There was a guy named Marcus Wynn who recommended me that I
30
use
seconds.
suspenders to help hold up the belts if you got too much stuff on there, the gun on there or not. And it's a good idea. I know there's a gun blogger and trainer named John Lowe that I don't know. Can you still use pen pals?
45 seconds.
Anyway, he does that when he sells somebody a gun or something. A student, or helps them get one. There's a holster, there's a belt, and sometimes suspenders. There's a whole system.
1, stop.
So don't leave me hanging. Suspenders.
Nicely done, Mark. Nicely done.
You're getting very good at that.
Yes, yeah. Spot on.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, that takes us to conversations. And do you have a funny one that you would like to show us? Do you have a picture?
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll do this one.
That would be hopeful. Oh, and you want to go with another one?
Well, I only have one more that I picked, but we can do it now if you want to.
Well, now we're at the end. Your choice.
Oh, we can do it right now. And this, again, is from the debate last night, and this is a tweet from Juanita Broderick. David Mirror. This is a historic night. Yes, David, we know that threesome with Kamala wasn't really something.
Oh my. She went there.
Yep.
I like her. Okay. Well, you ready to think real fast?
Maybe. Sure.
I like turtles.
Think real fast.
I heard that.
I like turtles.
Okay. On think real fast. We have breaking news. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is sending state troopers.
Wait.
in-
Wait.
Breaking news.
Now you may proceed.
Okay. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is sending state troopers into Springfield, where 20,000 Haitians have been dropped into a town of 50,000. Mark, they'll fit right into our culture because voodoo practicing cannibals are just like the founding fathers, right?
Exactly. I mean, they'll adopt. They'll adapt. I mean, it may take several generations, but they'll eventually fit in. Or we'll be gone.
The missus, despite won't this be awesome for the people of Springfield? Now they can go on a Haitian vacation without leaving their hometown.
Right. It will be amazing. Now, I heard someone say this about what's going on there in Springfield and just all over the country, too. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, that there's a small village. Let's say it's somewhere in Africa. And it's the same people who have lived there for generations, and they've practiced their religion, and they have their cultural customs. And it's a small village. Let's say it's 50,000 people. And suddenly, 20,000 white Americans move in and say, no, no, no. You're going to all start speaking English so that we can live here. And we'll just change all of your customs and overwhelm your schools. And by the way, you have to pay for all of this. How do you think the left would feel about that?
Oh, I'm sure
Do you
they'd be
think?
fine.
Do you think they
It's
would say?
colonialism.
They would say, "Well, that's diversity is Africa's strength."
All right, next one.
Okay.
If you can put up the Taylor Swift picture,
I have no idea which one that is.
it's the one of Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So I have to look at all of them. There it is.
There it is. Taylor Swift has thrown her support behind Kamala Harris in the presidential campaign, primarily because she was amazed that Kamala was able to speak in complete sentences for once. Mark, do you think that Elon Musk's offer to, quote, give Taylor a child and garter cats with his life will change your mind?
No, she has economic reasons why she wants Kamala elected. So I don't think you could persuade her with anything short of maybe another $1 billion.
Well, Mark, I heard this story today about Taylor Swift endorsing Pamela, and I thought, I'd like for the commies to win just so I could be there and see the look on Taylor's face when Pamela's people go to her and say, Taylor, thanks so much for endorsing us and helping us get into office. And, well, now that we're in control, we're going to use you to write us a check for 90% of all you have. Just so I could see that.
If she believed that would happen, she wouldn't support Kamala. She knows Kamala is just there to help, is a tool of the oligarchy, or however you want to call it. But and Taylor Swift, because of her wealth, is part of that oligarchy now, or at least thinks she is.
Well,
And
I had to give up 90% of everything I have, but hey, no mean tweets.
That's right.
well, if she gives up, I don't know how much she's net worth is, but I know it's north of $1 billion.
Yeah.
Even if she gave up 90% of it, she's still got over 100 million. So
Well, but the Jets, but we'll talk about Jets later. In fact, in the next
Are
little
you talking about
segment,
airplanes or that group from the 80s?
the group from the 80s, the
Yeah,
Jets.
there was a music group called the Jets from the 80s.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know of Jet. Well, okay. We're getting into trivia. In related news, JD Vance just said that Taylor Swift is a billionaire celebrity who I think is fundamentally disconnected from the interests and problems of most Americans. Mark, since Taylor has jet airplanes, was this a wise thing to say to her on 9/11?
Um, don't give her any ideas.
You can bring up the 9/11 thing.
Um, which one was that?
It's the ad.
Hmm. Let me see. This one? No, this one.
That's the one.
I did think that one was pretty funny. Yeah.
I don't know if it's real or
Unfortunate
not.
ad placement.
Yeah. 9/11, never forget. And because there's an upgrade sale on furnaces and ACs. Anyway,
That one's up there with the, the one that's gone around that says hyphens are important, with the headline in the newspaper. What it means to say is, such and such gives students their first-hand job experience, but there's no hyphen in there, so it reads, such and such gives students their first-hand job experience.
Oh, ouch. All right, the missus, in response to JD Vance's question or statement, was the 19th Amendment a good idea?
You're asking me that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I shouldn't ask your opinion if I'm going to ask that question.
Right, I know.
We should. I should answer it for you. It was not a good idea. All right, moving along. Rachel Gunn, aka Ray Gunn, the Australian breakdancer that charmed the world with her spastic and childlike
Charmed?
breakdance,
Is charmed the word we're going with?
and
Okay.
childlike breakdancing at the Olympics, scoring perfect zeros with every dance, has been officially ranked, and I'm not making this up, the #1 breakdancer in the world. This is actually the case. How? By technicality. Because while all the rest of the breakdancers were doing Olympic qualifiers, which were excluded from the rankings, she competed in the Australian Championship, which is a continental championship because, Australia is a continent. And that placed her, that was the tiebreaker that took her above the other person that won the other event. And lo and behold, by beating 14 competitors, she became the #1 ranked breakdancer in the world. Mark, should Idaho take this lying down?
Um, I don't think Idaho cares or should. I mean, she wants, I mean, frankly, if she came here and performed, somebody would probably call an ambulance and, she'd be treated for an epileptic attack.
The missus, is this the moral equivalent of our Hugo Award nomination?
It exactly is. Actually, what I was thinking about, even more so than that, is when I was in high school, and I held the school triple jump record at the high school. Not because I was a stellar track and field athlete or jumper at all, but because I was the first one to do it because it was new.
Had the school record.
Yep, had the school record for that entire spring. So
There you go.
I can say I am a high school track and field record holder. Thank you. I know you're impressed, aren't you?
Well, it's good it was in the jump because Father always told me to stay away from fast women. All right. From the Year Arrested Files, the Major Cities Chiefs Organization put out a crappy 11-page PDF reference guide on UFOs. I'm not making this up. And the PDF looked completely made up and completely just really, it was like somebody pasted a bunch of Wikipedia pages together. And so I had to go through and I had to check and see that the organization was legitimate, and it appears to be so. So, Mark, if an alien landed in Springfield, Ohio, would the Haitians there try to eat it?
Probably. I mean, geez, about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when they first started bringing some, I don't know where they were from. They may have been Haitian or some other type, but saw some down in a park chasing. There's this deer there, that we see as we're walking along, and then we swing back on the loop and come back, and they're chasing the frickin' deer, trying to catch it to eat it.
The missus, if the aliens came up to you and said, "Take me to your leader," why would you take them to see Alice Cooper?
Well, it would be a toss-up whether it would be Alice Cooper or Weird Al.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice choice.
Yeah, thank you.
How
So
about
I'm just kind of concerned with what's going on in chat over here because they're
It's dead.
Yeah, it's quiet. Too
the-
quiet.
Well, and Jim's not here. We'll have to rattle Jim's cage. For
And
being
Catherine's
tardy.
right. By alien, we mean Canadian goose.
Yes. Don't you know, eh? Dave Grohl from the rock band Counting Crows announced today that he knocked up a tramp and is sort of sorry that his wife and kids exist. I'm paraphrasing, and I made it, and he's actually not with Counting Crows. Mark, is this what happens when you lie about licensing your music to Donald Trump?
I like turtles.
The missus, this
Best
is
answer
this
of the night.
I like
Does this-
turtles.
does this make you think that we should buy a monkey?
That's a great idea. Let's do that.
Let's go.
The dog can poop on the floor and the monkey can throw it.
See, and here's again an example of the Donald Trump curse. You diss the Donald, and bad things happen to you.
Yeah.
Grohl mentions this, and well, it's all his own fault. But
for Dave
I guess
Grohl.
he wasn't given the best. All right. The Heritage Foundation brought a lawsuit against the DHS for letting that utter knob, Prince Harry, into the United States, in spite of him being an admitted drug user. Mark, can we start a GoFundMe to get him and his tramp wife deported to Zimbabwe?
We could. I mean, they might take it down, but my gosh, yes, anywhere, get them out of the country.
And why would they not want to go there? Diversity is their strength.
Send them to Haiti.
Yeah, that's a great
I mean,
idea.
they eat up that stuff. They would love it down
Think of all
there.
the good they could do. Yes.
They could have the
They
royal Dutch,
really would have to eat dogs and cats.
and he's a duke, so is his children royal ducklings? I mean, I heard that the Asians are fond of that. All right, this is. Do you think we should just lock him out the next time he and his tramp wife try to come back to their house? Just change the locks.
I don't know. I mean, I just think it's kind of funny to watch them living here in the States and just kind of floundering, even though they're still living on Harry's allowance. Because nothing they can do seems to go right. Their wealthy Hollywood friends don't like them anymore. Won't play with them.
Well, I mean, I feel sort of sorry for Harry because he's about to, if I understand right, he's about to inherit a bunch of money finally, or
From
come
who?
into money that the Queen left him. I think next year or something. And I wouldn't be surprised if she turned around and divorced him and took half of it.
Ooh. They live in.
Yeah,
Maybe there's
don't
a
you
reason
think-
they're in California.
Do you think they made her sign a prenup?
Oh,
No idea.
Let's just Google that, shall we?
All right. President Biden, or are you in the middle of Googling?
I'm Googling. Hang on.
Because there's nothing more exciting than listening to someone
I
Google.
know.
So Mark,
Yes.
is she the worst royal that's been alive since you've been alive?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Andrew's pretty bad too. The thing is, I don't follow that much. So I mean, yeah, I know of a few things here and there that they do and all that, just because it catches a lot of attention. But so no, I have no idea.
I think it was Princess Di.
Okay, so here's the first two stories. When you Google, did Meghan Markle sign a prenup? The first one, no, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did not sign a prenup. Second story, Queen Elizabeth insisted that the 36-year-old Duchess of Sussex sign a prenup.
So
So no one apparently knows.
It's Schrodinger's prenup. All right. President Biden attends to, and you can bring up the Ukraine one.
Okay.
Uh, President Biden intends to discuss allowing Ukraine to use long-range weapons into Russia. Mark, would you be willing to trade DC, LA, and New York City and San Francisco for that?
Yes.
No hesitation. Are those some of those places, upwind of you?
No.
Okay, so you're safe. Just take those just take those and go. The missus, how many Ukrainians are left? Like 6?
It's got to be something like that. But they just keep on keeping on, I guess.
All right.
Like the fools we are.
All right, so bring up the picture of Biden in the hat. This is a real picture, so I had to check it. Biden
I had
today
to
while
check that too, yeah.
while visiting a fire station, Biden put on a Trump 2024 hat. This is a real thing. It happened today. And Mark, did Corn Pop make Biden do that? He's a real bad dude.
No, it was probably the little kids rubbing Biden's legs.
And seeing
He
him
has an
put that
entourage of them that he takes everywhere he goes.
Well, they're fascinated by his leg hair.
his blonde leg hair. Uh, the missus, do you think this is a subtle nod to Nancy Pelosi? Kind of a big middle finger to the Democratic Party.
No, I just think he's completely senile and has no idea where he is and what he's doing at any given moment of the day. I really think that. I mean, you notice he has just disappeared since Pamela took over.
Yes, he has. Yeah, he is. Doesn't get to go or do anywhere or do anything. And that was the last. Think real fast.
Like the very last one ever?
Think real fast.
No tonight, silly.
Oh.
Were you happy about that or not? And we have 2 more memes. You can bring them up and give your thoughts on them, dear. Dissect.
I have no idea. That one? Okay, there we have one.
Yep.
See,
Is that
that's the stuff that I was talking about that was similar to that 2012 vice presidential debate.
Yes, and it was very staged and very
And
obviously coached.
the Democrats do that. But this is the thing that Trump did in the first debate with Biden in 2020. He did this similar thing, and people talked about, oh, how unprofessional he was, and I can't believe he did that, and just, oh, it was terrible and awful. Yeah, I know. I get it. I understand. Anything that Democrats do is fine. It's the most amazing thing that's ever been done in the history of humankind. Trump spews. Kamala misspeaks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
And
let me find the other one.
And here is a picture of the United States after a Kamala victory.
We're already kind of there.
We're pretty close to there, yeah. Can you see these, Mark?
Oh yeah.
Okay. This doesn't have anything
You know what Mark says.
I like turtles.
like turtles.
Yep.
All right. Well, any other closing thoughts? Mark, any closing thoughts for the week?
I like turtles.
The missus, any closing thoughts from you for the week?
Can't we just do the election like next week and just frickin' get it over with already?
No, they still have to print all those
Right.
pre-filled out ballots.
They aren't done printing the ballots yet. Wouldn't it be a real twist, and it would be a very 2024 thing to happen, if suddenly out of nowhere RFK Jr. wins the whole thing?
Yeah. No, what would be better would be if it either Space Witch or 9/11 Dog won it. I think 9/11 Dog ought to be a new mascot for our show. Because on 9/11, never forget about quality home comfort.
Yep. 11 dog.
All right. Well, on that note, this is John Wilder from Bombs and Bants and Lindsay Ryans, and thanks for coming here tonight. Hope everyone has a wonderful week. We'll be back here next week with more crazy stuff.
And this is Mark, and I like turtles.
Oh, I see how it is. Now I have to fill all of this until the end of the show because once again, you're unable to hit the post.
I don't try.
Clearly. And I'm the missus. Y'all come back now. You hear?
That's the dumbest thing I've